Hey love, and welcome back to another Loc Talk. Guess who I have with me today? Do you guys remember April?
Yes, it's me.
I had her on here, last year?
Was it last year? Yeah, it must have been. Yeah.
Yeah, last year. So, and we talked about her lock journey. We talked about how you went through, this is your second set
This
of
is my
locks.
second set. Mm-hmm.
You started off with traditional.
Yes.
When you were younger.
Mm-hmm.
And she's also a cosmetologist.
Right.
So we just talked about her journey.
Right.
So we're going to talk some more about her journey, and also just...
And you can see how long my hair got.
Yeah. I think when we did it, her hair was about...
Yeah, it was
right here.
Right up there.
Maybe like right here.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at all this.
Yep.
All of this. So for y'all who's like, my hair ain't growing, be patient.
Yes.
And wait, because it will grow. I know I keep cutting mine, so.
I know, but I like it. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going front. Even though I like it when it's retightened, of course, and it's nice and neat, but I do kind of like the fuzzy look.
You know a lot of people like the fuzzy look. I like the fuzzy look too, because y'all can see my hair. Yeah. Y'all be like, oh, it's thick. It's not that thick.
Right.
It just looks thick because
when it's fuzzy, right?
Fuzzy, and and I like my little open ends, and I like the little bunching at the ends because it looks thicker.
Yep, that's what I like.
Yeah. And listen.
And you get the most compliments when it's like that too. You know?
So people, to each his own. To each his own. Some people just be like, I don't like the fuzzies. Child, I like my little frizziness and the little bunchings, and especially up here because it makes it stand up a little bit more.
It does, doesn't it? Yep, I love it.
I love it, love it, love it.
Yep.
But today we're talking about menopause.
Yes.
And just how menopause changes our bodies as well as our hair. I think sometimes we forget that our hair is connected to our bodies, to our internal everything. Right. So because of that, when things are changing in our hair or when things are going on in our bodies, when we're going through different stages in life as women, we panic when our hair isn't doing what we think it should be doing. Correct. And menopause is one thing that I'm realizing dealing with tons and tons of clients. Menopause will change your hair, okay, y'all?
Absolutely.
I got one client, she's going through menopause. Now, mind you, she had a tighter curl pattern. Her hair just stayed in the locks. We had no issues. I can tighten her hair in 2 hours, 2.5 hours with a shampoo. Right. Baby, one day she came, it took me, she was a little bit over, but it took me 4 hours to do her hair. And I was like, where is all this loose hair coming from? Her pattern got straighter. So instead of having a deep curl pattern, she now has like a wavy curl pattern. Her hair got straighter. It got frizzier. The locks weren't, because it's straighter, the locks weren't staying, the hair weren't staying in the locks. So I had to do a lot of wrapping. It's also, she grew a bunch of extra hair in between the locks. It was just a whole lot. I was like, oh my God, okay, now you got to come every so and so weeks because I got to try to tame that because it just looks like a bush.
Well, here's what happens when we begin to go through that change of life. I mean, as women, and men too, because I'm sure the men are watching this too.
I don't know what they go through.
Well, I know we seem to go through everything, right?
We got the carry babies, we got the birthday babies, we got the period, we got the breastfeed,
we got everything.
We got to go through menopause.
We got all the responsibilities, right? It's all on us, okay? So, but men do experience some things, not as much as us women. You know, that's what makes us strong. Strong black women, black girl magic, yes. but no, as we age as women, in your 20s, you're vibrant, you're supple.
Yes, child.
Everything is lifted.
Yes.
Gravity hasn't taken effect.
Yes.
You hit 30 and the metabolism starts to slow down. You're still quite supple, unless you had some kids by then, But you're still a little supple. But gravity begins to take place when you start hitting 35. It begins to kind of hang down a little bit. And then when you hit 40, you experience more changes. Now, I will say this. Some people begin to experience, as I did, hot flashes in their 30s.
In the 30s?
Yes, it can. Yes, you can experience some hot flashes. It's early, but
that's real early.
Yeah. And I spoke to my doctor about that. So some women do experience hot flashes. Not all, some. Once you hit 40, you really begin to experience some changes in your body, because now the body is starting to go into the phase of, we're not supposed to be having children as well, I shouldn't say supposed to be, but the body is starting to want to wind down at this point, and so you begin that change of life. So at 40, you begin to see some other differences going on in the body, hormonally, and in the hair as well. Now, keep in mind,
hormones affect your hair.
Yes, it does.
It's a part of your body.
It's a part of your body. And keep in mind, remember, guys, hair is made from keratin,
which is a protein.
Right. And your nails are made from keratin as well. Okay? Your scalp is what? Skin. People forget that. So if your skin is dry, if you're not, and I'm kind of digressing a little bit, if you're not drinking a lot of water.
Oh Lord, let me get my water.
Right. Your skin is going to be dry, especially with moving into winter months now. So remember, all of that, your scalp is skin. So if the skin that you can see, your arms, your legs, your hands, all of that is dry, what do you think is happening to your scalp? That's dry. Okay. So now add perimenopause, because you begin to get, as you move into your 40s, most women begin perimenopause.
And she's speaking from experience.
Right. Peri is what? Before menopause. You haven't stopped your cycle, but you're starting to experience a lot more things happening, where it's giving you signs that, okay, I'm getting older. I don't know when my cycle is going to stop, but my cycle is doing crazy things. Okay, so your cycle is going to last longer. Your cycle is going to come sooner, more often, I should say, more often than we're used to. And you may bleed a little heavier. And also, I spoke to my doctor about this too. This happens because when we get older, again, because the body is starting to transition into menopause, we're dropping more eggs at the same time, which is why we're having more frequent cycles. So we may drop multiple eggs, but hey, listen, this is very important. This is when that change of life baby happens, or babies.
Oh, that's why you got so many people. This
yes.
Baby. This is like clink clink.
Yes.
Liking that, baby.
Yes.
Woo.
Yes.
Woo.
Right, exactly.
So I didn't know that. That's why you have all these supplies.
Yeah.
I'm 40 something.
Yes.
I'm with baby.
Because you're dropping eggs more frequently, and it's a lot more eggs. This is what my doctor explained to me. You're dropping more eggs, and it's like back. So your body kind of goes back to puberty a little bit. You get more pimples. You're getting this. You're getting that. You're more susceptible to becoming pregnant in your 40s during this perimenopausal time. That's, again, when you get these change of life babies. You'd be like, oh, I didn't think I could have any more babies. Well, honey, yes, you can. So this is the high time. My doctor told me, she said, April, you may want to think about doing birth control, because you don't want to be like nurse so-and-so over there, and she 40-something, and she didn't plan on being pregnant, but she's pregnant. Why? Because it's that time when you're dropping more eggs more frequently, so you could get pregnant. Okay, so keep that in mind.
Thank you.
Yes.
Baby,
yes.
Thank you. Because
so,
I got one more year to be in my 30s.
Right. And then So that's probably not going to happen till around 44, 45. Yes. So now, the hormonal changes, you'll begin to feel a little more cranky. Again, it's like being back in puberty. The body experiences all of these things, but back then when we were now I'm very candid with my stuff. I started my cycle at 9. I didn't understand why my body. Now my mom explained to me about a cycle and all of that, but no one explained about how you're going to feel. So I didn't understand why I'm feeling this way at 9 years old. Why do I have all of these pimples and I can't get, it seems to be more and more, and everything is going crazy. The body is just discombobulated. So you're back at that in your 40s. And this can go on into your 50s. Okay? So there's no time frame. This can go, perimenopause will last for many, many years before you go into full menopause. And you're not in full menopause until you have not had a cycle for a whole year. But you have to talk to your doctor about that, okay? Now, how it affects the hair. What happens with the hair is, because what's happening is we're losing more eggs, so we're also losing estrogen.
Wait, so we're dropping more eggs,
right?
But we're losing more.
Yes, because we're getting rid of those eggs. Our body is changing over. We're trying not to have any more kids anymore.
So it's getting rid of
right. So with that being said, that means that once we in full menopause, we have no more estrogen. So we're losing estrogen as this is happening. Therefore, you're going to see hair growth in places you never see. You may experience, some women experience a full beard. Not all women, but some. I have a hair that grows on my neck right here, and I just pluck it out. Okay?
Because I'm telling you, my client's hair, I was like, where's all this extra hair coming from?
Yes.
It's not in the lock. You put it, it's
it's just extra hair. Women,
and it's straighter.
Yes.
I'm like,
it's almost like, and again, I'm very candid. It's like pubic hair. So,
because we were talking, I'm like, girl, there's something going on in your body. What is changing? She was like, I don't know. I said, something is changing because this is not normal.
It's the estrogen
And
levels.
then we started talking, and then she's like, oh, I am going through menopause. You think that's what it is? I'm like, you think?
That's what it is.
I'm like, of course.
That's what it is. So you're getting extra hair in places where you never had hair before, i.e. your face, your neck. You may get more hair on your head, or vice versa. You may lose hair. Now,
it all depends how it affects you.
Yes.
Everybody's body's different.
And how your DNA is made up. Now, also, keep in mind, if you are on medication, I cannot stress this enough with my own clients. If you are on medication, or if you have thyroid issues, if you have fibroids, I mean, it's a plethora of things.
It's all connected,
right? That will cause hair to thin. So if you're on medication, if you have any ailments that contribute to hair thinning or hair loss, these things will also happen. So now you have a double whammy. You have perimenopause or menopause, and you have medication and ailments.
And medication can be thyroid medication, blood pressure medication,
any.
If you go through weight loss surgery, that's going to
that's another thing. Yeah. Oh, while that's being said, if you have gone through weight loss surgery, make sure you continue to take those vitamins that were prescribed to you during the before and after. You need to keep taking those for a very long time to keep your hair on your head, because you're not getting as much protein. The body is not absorbing as much, so you need to keep taking that, because if you want that hair on your head, you need to keep taking those things. The same as when you have a baby, this happens with some people.
That postpartum shedding?
Yes, or hair loss.
Yep.
I had a client years ago. She had a baby. She's a young girl. Had a baby. She had a whole bunch of hair on her head while being pregnant. Prior to being pregnant, she had just a full head of hair. And honey, she had that baby, all that hair fell out. All of it. And when I say it all fell out, she didn't know what it just all fell out. So you need to keep your vitamins going. You need, you got to keep yourself together. Mm-hmm. You got to keep healthy, eating the right things, doing the right thing. So with that being said, come back to perimenopause and menopausal. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing, the same exact thing. Now you're experiencing different emotions, mm-hmm. And I'm also going to talk about this. Here I go plugging myself, mm-hmm. on Salon Chat. Yes. I'm sorry, Pauline.
No, please do.
So, I spoke about my surgeries back in, I think I did the talk on that. Yeah, I think I did a chat on that in February.
Yeah.
Yeah, after I did my surgery.
Did you do one before and after?
I don't think I did a before. I know I did a after. I can't remember.
Well, I'm going to go on her page and link all those, and link the video on her surgery because she had hysterectomy.
And I also had carpal tunnel surgery.
Surgery.
I was on a lot of meds, so that also affected my hair as well.
And she talked about, everything. And it was a great video, so I'm going to link it. Y'all, please go watch and support her in that way because she was just pretty much honest. And we don't get that a lot of times, just to know what people go through when you're going through, different things. So if you're out there, you don't feel alone or by yourself, or you just might never know. You might know someone else who's going through that, and you can assist them in any kind of way. So definitely, I'll put the link so y'all can go watch it, okay? Because
thank you, Pauline, because
she gives some great stuff.
I'm very candid.
She is,
and I'm very honest.
She is
because I
and
understand.
very helpful in general.
Oh well, thank you. I really, really, I love people, but at the same time, people get on my nerves. If that makes sense. But no, I really, really, really love people, and any information that I have, I want to share it because I know I'm not the only one, so you got to catch this information as best you can. If you need to rewind this a little bit and you miss something, you got to catch it because you may need to go to the doctor and say, hey, I think I'm experiencing X, Y, and Z. Are there some lab tests that I can do? Mm-hmm. And that's what happens with perimenopause and menopausal. So you do need to have some lab tests just to be sure, as to why you're feeling the way you're feeling. And emotions are very high.
And you're gonna feel crazy because I have a client who she's going through menopause, and she's like, she didn't know she was going through it. She didn't know what it was. All she knew is that I feel crazy. Yes. Something's going on. Yeah. And she kept going to the doctor because she thought she was dying. She was yelling. She said, girl, I thought I was dying. So many things kept happening.
You're not dying.
And if you're paranoid, like me, you don't think you're dying. Every little thing, because I'm very in tune with my body.
Right,
so I feel a little tickle.
Every little thing is
like, okay, what was that? Oh, this feels tight right here. What's that? So she was like, girl, I thought I was dying. And she kept going to the doctor. Finally, her doctor was like, girl, you're going through menopause. You just gonna have to accept it. She's like,
it is
well,
what
I didn't know.
It is, and also, if you feel like you're having a heart attack, that may just be some gas, because gas will make you feel like you're having a heart attack.
Listen. I'm talking about that feel tight.
Woo! That gas will make you feel like you are having a heart attack, okay? But seriously, go to the doctor and have your hormonal levels checked. And also, and nobody knows that, when I come in here, I'm always smiling and everything, but nobody knows how I'm really feeling. This makes you absolutely bonkers. Okay? This makes you crazy. Like, you really be wanting to kill somebody. And I'm going to tell you a quick story. So, when I was younger, I must have been like in junior high school. My neighbor, I lived in an apartment. In New York, most people live in apartments. So in my apartment building, we were like one big happy family. Didn't always like each other, but you know, we were like one big happy family. So my neighbor, she had a hysterectomy, and she must have had her ovaries taken out. I didn't know her details, but as I think back and I remember exactly what happened. That's probably because she went right after her surgery. She went right into menopause. So that means her ovaries weren't there anymore. So when you don't have your ovaries anymore, you go straight into menopause, and you will need some hormone replacement therapy. So that's another thing you need to talk about.
See, they
don't talk about that. Right, exactly. Listen. And these are things that, you know, if you're my age or older, your parents didn't talk to you about either.
But unfortunately, some people don't
even have that.
The parent around.
Exactly. Like me.
Your mom passed when you were young.
Yeah, my mom. I was 19 when my mom passed. My mother was 49. So, which means my mother was probably perimenopausal, but she had cancer. So all of that mixed in, you know, I don't know, you know, so she was very young when she died. So I didn't have a reference, and then try asking my aunts is like, please, you know, just don't even. But, and then my sister, she ended up having a hysterectomy as well. So who do you talk to when no one has really truly gone through it naturally without a hysterectomy? So anyway, my neighbor had this hysterectomy, went into full-blown menopause after her surgery. This is how menopause will make you. And not everybody, but some people, and I get it now that it's happening to me. I mean, I've had a hysterectomy. I still have my ovaries, but the feelings of feeling crazy that you want to kill somebody. This lady was literally trying to kill her husband. That's how menopause made her that crazy, that she was literally trying to kill her husband.
That's a lot that she had to go through. I mean, because you have a hysterectomy where her ovaries were removed.
Right.
And then you, from that, automatically into
yes,
that's a lot going on at once.
And you don't know what's going on with your body, especially back then. And we're talking about the 80s. So I was like in late 80s. Yeah, late 80s, like 88, 87, 88. And you're like, you know, nobody is really explaining this stuff to you. And even back then, doctors really didn't tell you.
Listen, if
much.
you ain't asking these doctors questions,
they're not telling you. Yeah, they're not telling you nothing. So this lady was literally trying to kill her husband. Her husband ran over to our apartment because, again, we were like family, especially us in this family. We were really very close. And her husband came running over to our apartment. He was like, she's trying to kill me. This, that. I was like, and as a teenager, I was probably like 14 or something. I was like, what is going on? I had never seen her act like this. And then it wasn't until later when my mother explained to me that she had a hysterectomy. But still, at 14, I didn't understand what that meant. So as I'm older and I'm feeling, now that I've had my hysterectomy, I'm feeling the same way. And I'm about to be 48 next year in April. I'm like
April,
right. and really, after my hysterectomy, I still have my ovaries, but it's considered a full hysterectomy because I don't have a cervix. So they removed the cervix and the uterus. It might be TMI, but I'm telling you anyway. But I still have my ovaries, and let me explain this too. So with the ovaries, and some of this is going to be a repeat when I do salon chat because I'm going to do a follow-up. But when you have, my doctor explained to me about the importance of keeping your ovaries unless there's something wrong with your ovaries. They don't take the ovaries unless they absolutely have to. Now, she explained to me that part of the reason, not just for estrogen levels and, you know, kind of keeping your hormones intact so you don't go into full menopause right away, the ovaries have something to do with keeping women from having a heart attack. Didn't know that either. And
I didn't know that.
Right. And that's why it's important when you go to the doctor to ask questions, especially if you're considering a hysterectomy. You have to ask these questions. And so in asking questions, I found that out. I would have never known that. So, because I was like, if you need to take the ovaries, just take them, because I do have cysts on my ovaries, but they're like, we'll just watch it. So I have had a full hysterectomy, and again, a full hysterectomy means that they take the cervix and the uterus, and they're going to leave your ovaries for those reasons that I just explained. So you are going to post hysterectomy, and it doesn't happen right away. And then it also depends on what you have going on in your life too. I mean, if you don't have a lot going on, you may not feel this way, but I'm just warning you, you may or may not feel this way. This might not be everybody's case, but it's my case, okay? So I feel crazy all the time, okay? And I understand why this woman wanted to kill her husband, okay? And honestly, I didn't really realize that until probably really just now, and it's several months in post hysterectomy. Okay, so I was feeling things early on, but didn't really relate it to that. And then I spoke to a girlfriend of mine who is a counselor, and she was like, well, April, you've had this, and this, and yeah, you've had this life change, and yeah, that could be the reason. She was like, so this is what I want you to do. I want you to call your doctor, ask her to do some hormone levels tests, and see where you're at. So that's exactly what I did. So in December, I will be having these tests done. But I know something is wrong with me because I don't feel like my regular self. Anytime I am not, and not to say that everybody's happy every second of the day, every day. That's not it. Life happens. You're gonna feel how you feel. But for the most part, I am a happy person. And when I'm not feeling happy, that's a problem. Or, when I want to cry every hour of the day, that is a problem. And I'm sure some of you women are feeling that way. So if you have had a hysterectomy, or even if you have not had a hysterectomy and you're feeling this way, go to the doctor, talk to your doctor. And also counseling helps too, to put everything in perspective, because again, you're having a life change. This is something you're not used to. You're feeling like you're 12 and 13 again. You're wondering why you have pimples. You're wondering why there's hair here and not on your head. And again, so now I'm gonna go ahead to medication. But yeah, check with your doctor. Ask your doctor to do these tests, so that you know for sure what is going on with your body. You have to listen to your body, and that's what most people don't do. Know your body. Listen to those signs, okay? Because God has created this body wonderfully. We are wonderfully made.
And fearfully made.
Yes. And the body is telling you things because God made it that way. God has also made the body to heal itself if you put the right thing in it. So get these things checked, okay? Now, moving on to medication. So, again, like I said, if you have menopause, perimenopause, and medication, that is like a double, triple whammy, okay? Medication plays a huge role. Please, please, please do not come to your stylist and lie and say, you're not on any medication and I don't know why my hair is doing this. Don't do that.
Listen, yeah. Because the thing is, like, I had one of my clients who's an anesthesiologist. She says even going under will cause you to have some temporary hair loss.
Yes, a lot
It'll
of shedding.
come back.
Yep.
But you have shedding, you have hair loss.
Yes.
So even if you go under, get a have to get anesthesiology for something, it's going to affect the hair. Anything you put in your body is going to affect the hair. And I always encourage my clients, go check with a dermatologist.
Yes.
As cosmetologists, we know about hair.
Right.
as far as what's going on internally inside them scalp, you got to go to a dermatologist because they can do testing. They can take a portion of your scalp
and biopsy it. Yes. But do not come in here and lie. Now, I do study trichology, and trichology is the study of hair loss. So with that being said, understanding why we are experiencing hair loss, whether you're male or female, that plays a role as to how a cosmetologist who studies trichology can help you. You know, but we always refer you to a doctor because we are not doctors. We're always
just doctor hair,
right?
Not
exactly,
scalping.
Exactly, and we're always going to say, go see your dermatologist or your primary care physician. We're always going to say that. But if you've been doing hair long enough, if you've been a cosmetologist, and if you've been a good cosmetologist, because I'm not going to, you know, some
doing
people,
hair for long,
right, and still don't know nothing. Some cosmetologists are just not good cosmetologists. But if you have a good cosmetologist who has been doing hair for a long time and understands the changes and understands what medication can do to the hair and scalp, listen to what they're telling you. Do not lie, because if you lie, we cannot help you. So understand that medications are going to cause an effect on the hair and the scalp. What you put in your body, even with food, is going to affect your hair and your scalp. If you are on drugs, and I'm talking about recreational drugs, that is going to come out in your hair and your scalp. Okay? So do not lie, because for me, that is a pet peeve, because you come in here and you lie, and then you're looking at us, and then you say, oh, you took my hair out. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm appalled. Right. And again, I don't know anything. So I'm appalled. Okay? Because I'm experienced enough with 20 plus years of cosmetology experience. Also have a degree. It may not be a degree in science or anything, but I'm degreed, so I feel like I'm pretty smart. Okay. You know, don't have us in here looking stupid and try to blame us for something because you chose not to say that you were on medication. These things, blood pressure pills.
Tap your hair.
Yes, definitely. Oh,
up here.
Yes, that's where right up in the crown area is where it happens. So you know,
and even I've had clients say, my doctor says it's a low dosage blood pressure medication, and it does not affect the hair.
It does. Listen, just because it is a low dose and it may not say on the bottle or on the, always read that paperwork that they put. Yeah, because that's where all your side effects are. But the side effects you experience may not even be on there, because not that many people may have experienced it. So if not a lot of people experience the side effects you're having, they're not going to put it on there. What they're putting on the side effects are the ones that 50 people experience this, but one or two people experience that. So they're going to put the most experienced stuff on the side effects.
Yep.
So that does not mean that it can't happen, because it can. Okay? If you, and be honest about this too. You know, I know there's still a stigma with this, but hey, it's like having diabetes now, because there's so many treatments for it. If you are HIV positive or have full-blown AIDS, you have to be honest about that, because those medications affect the hair. Okay? So, you know, again, if you experience something with your thyroid and taking thyroid medication, if you have diabetes, that affects the hair too. You know, there's so many different things. Weight loss surgery, fibroids affect the hair. Just, I mean, it's a plethora of things that affect the hair, and the medications that go along with these treatments. That birth control is another thing that affects the hair. I had a client who was on birth control for many years, stopped taking birth control, and all of a sudden her hair falls out. And we couldn't figure out for the longest time, because she didn't even attribute it to hair. We kept trying to figure out what is going on with your hair. And then one day she came and she said, you know what? I thought about it. I stopped taking birth control. your hormones are out of whack. Again, it's a hormonal situation, all out of whack.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be honest and be aware. And these are things, again, that are not talked about often enough. And we're here to educate you and talk about them. So yeah, just be truthful, because that's the only way we can help you. You know, we're not doctors, but we know some things, okay?
And we can at least direct you or guide you.
Right.
My thing is, go to a dermatologist. I had a client who, she had a lot of thinning going on up here. And she's in retirement age. She's elderly. Well, I don't want to say elderly, because 65 is not elderly.
Yeah, 65 is young nowadays.
Yeah,
but it's so still considered senior.
She's in her senior days, okay?
Yeah.
And so her hair just, just thinning up here, thinning up here. And she's like, what's going on with my hair? Why is it thinning? I kept telling her, go see a dermatologist. Go see a dermatologist. A year passed. Why is it going on? I just don't know why my hair thinning. I don't know why. I don't know why. Why can't you tell me why my hair is thinning? I can't tell you why. She said, do you think it's the tension of the locks?
They love to say that, honey. They love that.
I said, no, it's not, because I don't do your hair that tight.
Right.
And if it was the tension, it would be all over.
Right.
So I said, no, it's not the tension. Then she said, well, I saw on YouTube that they say if I go longer without retightenings, it will help. So I said, that's not going to help you, especially for your hair, because your hair is thin, so you need to be more consistent. But she went longer anyways. Okay? Came back, girl, my hair felt falling out. It was too long. I can't.
You know why? Okay. Because she didn't get retightened. And so if you don't get retightened, you have hair up here, not to interrupt you, but you have hair right here that is new growth. And then, especially if you have Sisterlocs, and then you have this thin hair that's hanging on by a thread, because that's heavier than this.
And so I told her, I said, I don't think that's the best thing to do, but I ain't gonna force nobody to do anything.
You cannot tell grown people what to do.
Listen. So she tried it, realized, okay, that's not working. I said, you need to go see a dermatologist. Finally, she goes see a dermatologist. What dermatologist said? She came back, she said, they told me I have inflammation in the scalp. I said, so now that we know the issue.
Yes.
So she has inflammation in the scalp, so they gave her medication. Some oils and some things to take orally by mouth. And 3 months later, I kid you not, 3 months later, that hair started growing back in. We were able to pull it into the lock and put it in. I said, now had you listened to me from the get-go, to go see a dermatologist, you would have more hair by now. But you know what?
Like I always say, I don't know why I would know anything. I mean, I only been doing this 20 plus years, so I don't know why I would know anything. So don't listen to me.
My client be saying that that's when she's arguing with her daughter. She said, "I'm just a dumb black monkey."
I don't know. And sometimes, I'll be honest. Sometimes when you're talking to a client and they just not hearing you, I'll be like, "Well, you know what? I don't know. I just don't know."
At the end of the day, I can acknowledge that I don't know everything.
Right.
So when you ask me about your hair, and I know I'm doing everything I can to not make your hair thin, I'm not doing tension. I'm telling you to clean, wash your hair.
And telling you to go to the doctor, and you're not doing that. So I really don't know.
Yeah, if there's nothing else I can do, I always say, go see a dermatologist.
Yes.
Go see a dermatologist. Yes. That's my best advice.
And you know what? Not just.
I don't know.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And we're talking about the menopause and the perimenopause and medications, but also stress is a factor in hair loss and hair thinning. Also psoriasis, that is a condition of the skin. Yep.
It's going to cause hair loss.
It will cause hair loss or hair thinning.
It suffocates the hair follicles.
Yeah, the scabs, I should say the dry patches. It's so much.
The hair follicles.
And people don't get that. Right. And people don't get that when you try to say, and I'm going to tell you something. I'm not a doctor, but I've been doing this long enough. I'm also an educator in cosmetology. Again, I've been doing this long enough to know and recognize certain things. And my clients will tell you, when I say, hey, this looks like X, Y, and Z, I want you to go to the dermatologist just to see what's going on, and verify that what I'm saying is true. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, I have been right because I've seen it. So there you go. But I'm gonna have to take this call. Okay. Oh, well, never mind. But yes.
No, we're good. We're pretty much done. We've shared a lot, and I will show you guys a close up of her hair. How's it doing? Her hair used to be a lot thicker than this, and I'm just like, girl.
Can you imagine doing this and it was thicker than this, child?
Because her hair is thick, coarse.
Yes.
High density, and she said it was thicker than this when she first locked it. I said, Lord, I ain't trying to wish nothing on you, but I'm glad it's like this.
Yes, I know. And you know again, because I'm getting older and I'm in that, I'm trying to find out now if I have hit menopause or if I'm still in perimenopause, because I don't know, since I'm not having a cycle anymore. But my curl pattern but up here it's always been loose. But
it's definitely your whole hair has gotten straighter.
Yes.
It's gotten straighter.
Yeah, because back here used to let me know, honey, if you don't think you from the motherland, let me remind you back here in this nape area. Like all up here was always kind of wavy because it's a mixture of what's going on, the Mexican, the white, the Native American, and all of that. But back here was like, no, honey, you still black. But now even back here done softened up.
Gotten straight.
So it is. But understand and pay attention to your body. That's what we're saying, and be honest with us about what's going on with you, because we're not here to gossip about you. We're just here to help you. And if we know what's going on with you, then we can better serve you. And that's what it's about.
But I hope y'all learned a lot from this. I just wanted to touch up on this, just menopause, because I got quite a few of my clients going through it, and they're like, my hair. And so I just wanted to, and April has, she's in perimenopause and gone through having a hysterectomy and everything else. I thought, let's talk about it, because this is what a lot of us are experiencing or going to experience soon.
Yes.
So it's good to know and know what to expect. So that's about it. I'm gonna show y'all, show y'all her hair up close when we're done, and go from there.
Yes, and don't forget.
Oh yes, don't forget to go, and I'm going to put in the link. So please go watch.
Salon Chat,
her
the
video.
First part, and I'm going to do a follow-up. I'm probably going to do a follow-up this weekend. Lord willing, if nothing else comes up. Time.
But she provides a wealth of resource on her page too, so definitely go check her page out. And if y'all like food, she does a segment on fun in the kitchen.
Yes.
So she does recipes and different things like that. So the holidays are coming up. She has great recipes on there for that too.
Yes.
So yes, go check it out. I will link it in the description and in the comments. So y'all have her handle. So yes. All right, y'all.
And remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and share if you are enjoying the content that Pauline has for you.
Please.
And do the same for me.
Yes.